Hello, lovely people. My name is Roel. I am a health and nutrition coach and a diabetes practitioner, and I post these videos to inspire you to be as healthy as you can be. And today, I'd like to dive into something that's really important but often overlooked, and it's about mindset. And even if you have all the knowledge in the world and you know exactly what you need to do to be as healthy as you want to be, um, if you have a negative mindset, then it's not likely to happen. It can seriously hold you back from achieving your health goals or any goals. You can apply this to any area in your life, but obviously I'm talking about health. Now, if you have a negative mindset, then it can feel impossible to stick with a plan, or try something new, or even believe in your ability to make any changes at all. But the good news is that with a few shifts in perspective, we can turn these things around. So let's get into it. Now, first, why would a negative mindset hold you back? You might think, well, if I know what I need to do and I just force myself to do it with willpower, then what does it matter what my mindset is? I will get the same result. But when you're stuck in negativity, it is a little bit like having some invisible anchor dragging behind you, and you start maybe thinking things like, I'll never lose weight, I'll never get fit, or high blood pressure runs in my family, so that's just my fate, or I'm too old to change things now, what's the point? And the problem with these thoughts is that they become self-fulfilling prophecies. And why is that? It's because your brain believes what you tell it, and your thoughts is they come from you. It's your script, the script that you write in your head. And if you've convinced yourself that you're going to fail, you're less likely to even try, and therefore less likely to get the results, and also makes it more likely that at the first sign of difficulty you're going to give up, because it confirms that first negative thought that you had. So this process, when you tell yourself something, and it's called a fixed mindset, and so that's a belief that your abilities and your health can't improve, and it is what it is. But the alternative is a growth mindset, and that will help you to be successful. If you have a growth mindset, then you believe that whatever happened in the past, with continuous learning and embracing opportunities and being persistent, you can still be successful. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities to grow rather than insurmountable obstacles. So if we can break this down with an example. So say you've been told that you're pre-diabetic, and many people are pre-diabetic now. If you had a fixed mindset, you might say to yourself, well, that's that, I'm pre-diabetic, I'll probably end up being on medication for the rest of my life to manage my blood glucose levels. But if you had a growth mindset, then you would flip that narrative, and instead you could say, okay, I see this as a wake-up call. I'm being told I'm pre-diabetic. What can I learn? What can I do to turn this around? And that can make all the difference. One mindset shuts down any possibility of success, and the other one opens the door to action and therefore to hope. So let's talk about how we can shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And I've got 4 strategies to get you started with that. Number 1 is you've got to challenge any limiting beliefs that you have. And it's not easy sometimes to identify them, but it's got to start with self-reflection. It's so important to be successful, have that self-awareness and self-reflection. So ask yourself, what stories am I telling myself about my health? You could write them down. For example, you could say, I can't exercise because I'm too overweight, or I can't exercise because I have a health condition, or maybe your belief is that healthy eating is too expensive and therefore you can't do it. So these are examples. And then what you'll do is you're going to challenge those beliefs. Is it true that you can't exercise at all? Or could you start with something, a small amount of exercise, or maybe adjusted exercise? Is healthy eating really too expensive for you? Or are there ways that you can start eating healthy food that may not be expensive? And there are a lot of resources out there to help with that, of course, like with anything. So that's number one, is that sort of self-reflection, identifying these self-limiting beliefs. Strategy number two is to embrace challenges as opportunities. So instead of fearing failure, see it as a part of the process. So instead of thinking that if you don't achieve what you wanted to achieve, that's it. It doesn't have to be the end of the road. It could be part of the road to success. So maybe if you're struggling to stick with a diet, that's a challenge, but that could be an opportunity to learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And every time something doesn't work, I think it gets you one step closer to what does work for you, because you can then eliminate that thing that didn't work and try something different. So if you think of each challenge more as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, you can already see how that makes you much more likely to be successful. So another example here would be, say, if you maybe try to cut out sugar in your diet. Maybe you try to cut it out completely, but then you find yourself binging on some sweet food the following week. And then, you might want to be beating yourself up about that. But instead of beating yourself up, you could ask, what can I change? What can I do for that not to happen? Why did it happen in the first place? And maybe even adjust your goal a little bit. Instead of saying cut it out altogether, I'm going to gradually reduce my intake of sugar, and that might make you more successful. And so can you see how by doing this, you slowly but gradually going to find out what does work for you? And if you would have given up, then you would never find out. The third strategy is to try to foster a thirst for knowledge. I feel quite lucky because I have that naturally. I always want to learn. I'm always curious. I'm always buying books, signing up for courses, and I love it. But if you don't, then I still recommend that you try to create that sort of interest in learning, because a growth mindset thrives on learning. And if you make it a habit to educate yourself about health, about diet, watch videos, maybe like this one or others, if you read books, magazines, or maybe join a supportive community online or in the flesh, you'll find that it's going to push you along on the road to success. The more you know, the more empowered you'll feel to take action. For example, finding out what types of food have less of an impact on your blood glucose levels can really help you to make better choices. And if you didn't learn that, then obviously you can't apply that. If you get that knowledge, it can really help you to feel less overwhelmed because you feel more empowered. Strategy number 4 is to shift your language. The way that you think and talk about things has a big impact on how they turn out. The way that you talk to yourself in particular really, really matters. So instead of saying, I can't do this, you could say, I'm learning how to do this. So you're not lying to yourself. Obviously, you're not going to say, I can do this when you can't. But just say, I can't do it yet, but I'm learning how to do it and I'm getting better. Instead of saying, I'll never be healthy, you could say, I'm taking steps every day to improve my health. And it just feels better. And when you feel better, you will do better. So, a little recap then. Negative mindset can really hold you back, and a growth mindset can really help to push you along. overcome challenges and achieve your health goals. So start by challenging your limiting beliefs. Embrace challenges as opportunities, not as roadblocks, and learn as much as you can to empower yourself. And then, of course, shift your language and try to rephrase things in a way that opens the door to success. And remember, it's never too late to take charge of your health. No matter what's happened in the past, no matter how old you are, you can still make a difference. You're not stuck. You're learning, you're growing, and making progress every day. If you like this video and you found it useful, let me know. Give me a little thumbs up and maybe even subscribe. I would find that very exciting if I can grow my YouTube channel, which is only tiny, I know. But I enjoy doing it, so I don't mind. But if you like it, if you want to know a little bit more about the whys and the hows, on the 27th, i.e. tomorrow, Monday, evening, 8 o'clock UK time, I am hosting a free 1-hour webinar to talk about how you can avoid type 2 diabetes. And even if you're not pre-diabetic, or you don't know that you are pre-diabetic, which will be the case unfortunately for many people, then you're going to find this very interesting, because in this webinar I will explain what happens when your blood glucose levels are too high, and more importantly, what can you do to reverse that. And it is possible, thank goodness, to reverse that. So if you want to join me, then I'll leave the link below this video for the registration, and hopefully I'll see you there. But if not, I look forward to seeing you next week in my next video. And remember to set yourself one little goal this week. What is the one little thing that you're going to do this week that is going to make you more successful? Right, obviously somebody's going to call me whilst I'm doing a video. Apologies. Anyway, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you lots. Bye.